Now at 5, Crawford County participates in a recount of this month's vote on abortion rights.
Former President Trump's then personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, testifies before a Georgia grand jury. I'm Natalie Brand in Washington with details of the investigation looking into election interference.
Do digital devices help or hurt our memory? I'm Ian Lee with what UK scientists are discovering.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Crawford County, Kansas election officials finished recounting ballots for the Value Them Both Amendment. This is KOAM News at 5. In total, 9 Kansas counties saw recounts on the amendment following a request by pro-life supporters. According to county officials, Crawford County overall remained a no-vote county, the only one in southeast Kansas.
Our elections are very secure in the state of Kansas. Here in Crawford County, we have an excellent reputation. Our votes have come out pretty darn close, so yeah, it will not change anything.
Lusker did not release specific recount numbers today. Crawford County is the only county in the area which underwent a recount on that question. Hey, good news for Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers. Governor Kevin Stitt signed a pay raise into law and announced a new partnership to get more troopers on Oklahoma roads. And the requirements have changed. Before, hopeful troopers needed either 62 credit hours or an associate's degree in hand to even apply. That is no longer the case.
It's really going to help these deputies, other municipal officers that want to come to the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, and they've gotten caught up in life and didn't have time to go through and get those 62 college credit hours.
Troopers are getting a 30% pay raise. It's the first raise in a decade. The CDC says the number of monkeypox cases in the state of Missouri is up to 25. According to the CDC, the total number of confirmed monkeypox cases nationwide is nearing 13,000. A Newton County health official says they're closely monitoring the situation and they're still trying to figure out ways the virus might spread.
To figure out the transmission for possible contact surface. So if someone has monkeypox and say they have blisters on their hands and they touch, for example, a desk surface, books, things of that nature, could there be transmission? And we're not sure of that just yet.
As of today, Newton County Health Department does not have monkeypox vaccines. A new review finds a lack of high-quality monkeypox guidelines might be hampering treatment of the infection around the world. The analysis in BMJ Global Health finds the existing guidance often doesn't have enough detail, rarely provides advice for children, and is often inconsistent. A lot of us got some rain. Finally, Doug Heddy joins us.
Yeah, it was pretty widespread for us last night. Showers, thunderstorms across the region, and a lot of clouds sticking around as we went through the morning hours, and we did even see a little bit of light showers across the region during the morning hours. We can't rule out a random spotty little sprinkle or shower popping up throughout the evening, but most of the rain is going to stay well to our south, down through parts of Oklahoma and also parts of Arkansas. So we look pretty good from this point on, but look at our temps. Upper 70s, lower 80s across the region, quite a bit cooler than what we have seen over the past couple days. We have those easterly winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Throughout the evening hours, we slip back through the 70s, 60s, all the way down into lower 60s later on tonight. More rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. Former Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani is appearing before a special grand jury in Georgia investigating attempts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Reporter Natalie Brand has more details from Washington, D.C.
Rudy Giuliani spent hours in an Atlanta courthouse before a grand jury as part of a criminal investigation looking into election interference in 2020. He briefly spoke to reporters before his testimony.
Talk about this until it's over. It's a grand jury, and grand juries, as I recall, a secret.
Do you believe President Trump is the ultimate target of this investigation?
I'm not going to comment on the grand jury investigation.
Giuliani is among a group of allies of former President Donald Trump identified as targets of the Fulton County prosecutor's investigation. The former New York City mayor, who served as a personal attorney to then President Trump, became one of his closest advisors in the aftermath of the 2020 election. He publicly made baseless claims of election fraud in key battleground states, including Georgia.
For example, the recount being done in Georgia will tell us nothing, because these fraudulent ballots will just be counted again.
This special grand jury was formed in the beginning of this year. The Fulton County District Attorney says the investigation was spurred by the January phone call between Mr. Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Anthony Michael Kreis, who teaches law at Georgia State University, says the DA appears to be getting closer to the former president's innermost circle.
I doubt that if a conspiracy case was brought in Georgia, that it would be brought without the former president involved, because he was a linchpin in all of this.
Giuliani's attorneys had tried to delay his testimony because he underwent heart surgery last month, but the judge ordered him to appear even though he could not travel by plane. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
7 Trump associates and advisors have been called to testify. Trump could also be questioned as part of the inquiry. Both Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is scheduled to testify next week. Still ahead, info you might want to know before you plan your next flight.
A new report ranks the airlines. I'm Trinity Chavez with which carriers are tops when it comes to reliability and cost.
But first, the link between smartphones and memory. That's coming up in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, the FDA is establishing a new category of over-the-counter hearing aids. The devices will be available for purchase without a medical exam or a prescription. They could be in stores by mid-October. Children with a large vocabulary before they begin preschool perform better in class than students with weaker vocabulary skills. Researchers from The Ohio State University found a child's ability to engage with teachers and peers is affected by the range of words they know. If you're struggling to remember something, new research suggests just reach for your cell phone. While some experts believe too much tech can lead to digital dementia, scientists in Britain found phones may actually improve our memories. Ian Lee has that story.
Cell phones might seem like they're glued to our hands with the constant messaging, talking, and scanning of social media. So scientists in the UK wanted to know how that affects our brains.
We were interested in the way that people use devices like smartphones as an extension of their memory.
Dr. Sam Gilbert led a team of researchers from University College London. Using a computer program, 158 volunteers were given a memory task to do 16 times. For half of them, they had to rely on their own memory. For the rest, they could set reminders on a digital device.
When people have access to a digital memory, they offload the most important information into that digital memory. But this, in turn, frees up space that we can use to remember additional information.
So your important information is only as good as your battery life.
That's right. So you need to make sure that your devices are reliable.
Some folks agree. Digital reminders help boost their memory.
I would put in my dentist appointment, but I'd also then remind myself that, also my husband has one and my son has one, so I need to make sure that they go to theirs.
Others aren't convinced.
No, because I just have everything written down.
But researchers say remembering to outsource your memory just might improve it. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Though researchers say their next step is to see if their findings can specifically benefit the elderly. The study is published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology General. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about why a cat pukes after she eats.
Plus, we have more rain chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. A lot of clouds sticking around through a good chunk of the day after showers, thunderstorms across the region last night. About 80% of us at least got some rain across the region, and then most of the day, just kind of mostly cloudy skies. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, rainfall amounts. This is in Joplin. Since midnight, about 1/1400ths of an inch, but for the month, not too bad. 2.5 inches of rain. We picked up a little bit more rain as we've gone through the past week or so. We're actually above average by 1.5 inches, but again, most of that rain fell in the spring months, April and May. By the end of May, we were 15 inches above where we should be for this time of the year. And then once we got into the summer, it really started to dry out. All right, where the clouds are a little bit thicker, sitting low to mid 70s, some sunshine, upper 70s to near 80 degrees. As we go through the evening hours, we just kind of slowly drop back. We have these easterly winds at about 10 to 15, so a little breezy out there for us today. Looks pretty good, 78. East winds at about 10, humidity is at 64%. Through the evening hours, we're going to drop back through the 70s, 60s, eventually down to about 62 later on tonight. So it's actually going to feel pretty good outside. We are going to have the clouds across the region over the next several hours. You can see all the rain working out of here. We can't rule out a random sprinkle or two, but most of the rain's going to stay down across northern parts of Oklahoma. You can see a couple little showers, Bartlesville over toward Veneta, and that is just about it. But we have this whole storm system, weak little waves kind of passing through. High pressure is kind of back built down into parts of Texas, and what that does is it allows some cooler air to actually work in, which we're going to see over about the next day or two. Let's go through time. Tonight, we'll stop in the morning hours. Here's 6 a.m., right around 60 to 62, which is pretty good for the middle of August. We're going to have plenty of sunshine, quick warm up near 80 by noon, and then I think most of us will top out 86, 87 degrees during the afternoon. So here's your day planner. We'll start at 62, 80 by noon, high temp 86. We're still going to have those light easterly winds at about 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, still pretty much clear skies. We drop back mid 60s, 4 lows. And then as we go into Friday, a little bit warmer, pressing 90, but still a pretty good day. Look at the thunderstorms trying to break out. This is going to be Friday evening. So this will be our next chance for rain. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms try to work in late Friday evening into Friday night. And then we're going to have these chances sticking around as we go into the weekend. So we are going to have more rain chances in the forecast, which is good, really, to see. 86 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. Scattered thunderstorms over the weekend, a little bit cooler. 88 Saturday, 85 on Sunday, and then back into the lower 90s by the middle of next week. But big key here is no triple-digit heat on the map. So that's really nice to see.
What also is nice to see is those continuing rain chances. Farmers in particular, they're way behind.
Yeah, we need it.
Thanks, Doug. High school seniors in Columbus, Kansas today had some good, clean fun for the first day of school. Look at this. Every year, the seniors prank the fountain outside the Cherokee County Courthouse on the square. And as you can see, they prank it with soap, leading to an explosion of bubbles. I'm talking a lot of bubbles. Today's wind also helped spread those bubbles west across the square. Coming up, ranking of the best airlines. First, though, we take a moment to recognize a local veteran of the Korean War. Lawrence Brown served in the U.S. Marine Corps in 1952 and 1953. He was part of a tank division serving in Korea, his hometown, Fort Scott, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Private First Class Lawrence Brown, a four-state hero. Of course, you can learn about lots of other heroes. There are thousands of them in our database from all across this area. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple to do. You just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a big victory for Walmart in its pregnancy discrimination case. A judge ruled the company's temporary light duty policy lawfully only covered workers injured on the job and did not illegally exclude pregnant employees. Walmart claimed the policy was limited to workers injured on the job to help reduce its costs and help build employee morale. American Airlines has agreed to buy up to 20 supersonic jets from Boom Supersonic and has already put down a non-refundable deposit on those planes. Boom's CEO says the planes should debut in 2029 and expects a trip from New York to London would take 3.5 hours only, cost between $4,000 and $5,000 per ticket. American is the second U.S. airline to buy the jets from Boom, joining United, which last year placed an order for 15 of those planes. It's been a difficult year to travel with widespread flight cancellations, delays, and lost bags nationwide. And with that in mind, The Points Guy is releasing its 6th annual Best Airlines report to help consumers choose which carrier to fly when booking their next getaway. Trinity Chavez reports from LaGuardia Airport in New York City.
For the 4th year in a row, Delta Airlines is the #1 airline. That's according to a new report from The Points Guy.
We actually put some weight this year on family travel. And the airlines that are nice to families, Delta now actually has family seating, so that got them a little extra love.
The Points Guy CEO and founder, Brian Kelly, appeared on CBS Mornings to discuss how his company ranked the top 10, which put Southwest at #2, United #3, American #4, and Alaska Airlines at #5. He says there are 4 main factors: reliability, the overall experience, cost and number of destinations, and finally, loyalty perks.
The funny thing is Delta didn't actually come in #1 in any of those categories, but they posted really strong. They're also the most expensive airline. So consumers are willing to pay to be treated like humans. I think that's the key theme we're seeing.
Southwest ranked #1 in terms of cost and number of destinations, while United scored the highest among frequent flyers. What are your thoughts when it comes to booking your travel?
Well, I book for reliability, comfort, points also.
The ranking comes during a difficult year for air travelers. U.S.-based airlines canceled more than 120,000 flights through July, but experts say there are ways travelers can make their trip smoother.
Always check to see where your aircraft's coming in from. You can set alerts for your flight. Always get the airline app.
Another tip, if you're delayed and need to get a hotel room, airlines usually won't cover that, but there are credit cards that offer flight delay and interruption coverage. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
Hawaiian Airlines ranked the highest in reliability with more than 90% of its flights arriving on time, which might not be surprising considering it doesn't fly to many cold weather destinations where snowstorms are an issue. Delta came in second place with just 1.25 complaints for every 100,000 passengers. Our pet vet on call next.
Services provided.
Up next on the CBS Evening News, a flight for the history books to honor a trailblazer. Then on KOAM News at 6, the case of a Southwest Missouri man accused of posting revenge porn. Plus, Joplin School District staff are back at work. We're going to show you how they had a little fun. And a preview of the Colgan Panthers football team. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Sometimes any of us can feel a little bit nauseous, and that includes our pets. Today's question for our pet vet on call comes from Margie. She writes, "My cat pukes a lot after she eats. Is she overeating or something else?"
Well, she could be overeating, being a little piglet and snarfing too much too fast, but I would be inclined to think that it is the something else, because that could be something as simple as a mild GI obstruction like a hairball, to a more serious obstruction like GI disease, to even cancer and metabolic diseases that can cause nausea and vomiting. It could be serious. Take her to your vet.
Hey, thanks for the question. We invite questions from anyone. If you have one, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions anytime on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this all-black domestic short-hair kitten. It's a little male. His name is John. Not necessarily imaginative, but that's his name. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have this Boxer Basenji mix. It's a 2-year-old female named Alpine. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least check out your local Humane Society? They always have a lot of great ones to choose from. We experience something we don't experience often this time of year: wet lawns and relatively cool temperatures.
I may actually have to mow the yard this weekend.
Really?
Which is kind of crazy. I haven't done it since early June, but we do have some more rain chances in the forecast Saturday and Sunday, really Friday night through Sunday. But temperature is pretty good, 62 tonight, 86 tomorrow, 92 on Friday. But overall, 80s and lower 90s, we can handle that.
More than handle it. We'll love it. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.